Brad, I'd like for you to share real quick here, as we got to get somebody else in, about your situation. And we talked about how that you left town and went to Bible college. You're from this area. You came back, and you know what the network meetings did for you in that situation.
Absolutely. I love sharing the story. In 2009, I graduated Bible college, had spent 4 years in North Carolina, and came back to Laurel County. And I wasn't even raised in Laurel County, so I didn't know a whole lot of people, didn't have a lot of relationships, and all of a sudden was a full-time youth pastor here in this community. And Tim Bargo just really took me under his wing and introduced me to First Priority. And our church had played an active role in First Priority prior to me returning home. But in 2009, when I began working with First Priority on a monthly basis, I started networking with guys who had the same passion I did. Their passion was to see students transform the schools and to see students reach students. And they already had tools, had already been doing it for years. And they just had to coach me and train me on how I could serve and how I could be most effective. And so to have that sense of relationship, to have that accountability, to have that mentor program as a young student, just trying to get used and acquainted to the community, it was vital. And so I thank First Priority for that. And I'll tell you, First Priority enables our students to have Bibles in the schools. It enables our students in the Tri-County area to have prayer in schools, enables our students in the Tri-County area to have a ministry, to have a preaching, to have singing, enables youth pastors to be able to walk the hallways of our public schools. And that's just unheard of around the world. But here in the Tri-County area, we're blessed to have that because of First Priority.
That is so powerful. What a testimony. What a work. And, you know, all these guys have got a heart and got a purpose. And, you know, the desire and the passion didn't make this happen, Mr. Tim.
Well, you know, again, we tell churches we are a key to get the church into the school. We're a tool for the church. We're in the toolbox. You know, we can't work without the church. You know, when we get into that, and I want to go ahead and thank Brad for coming and switch out another guest while we're talking. We've got a student coming, so this is going to be awesome.
Very good.
But, Jonathan, basically, people say all the time they took the Ten Commandments out of the schools. They took prayer out of schools. As long as churches are reaching students, there'll always be prayer in school as long as there's Christian students in school. And I have to make this point. If churches are not discipling students and reaching them, we cannot operate without Christian students. A Christian ministry has to have Christian leadership. And a good example, a few years ago, we got in a new school in this area. I was actually youth pastor and was trying to pilot First Priority. We had every student in that high school that made a meeting that year, and one person didn't put their hope in Christ because we had 0 student leaders. And so you can have a meeting, you can bring pizza in, you can bring music and have a meeting, but it's guys just like this young man right here that are living it every day in front of their friends, that are investing in their lives, making sure people aren't eating lunch by themselves, aren't standing in the hallway by themselves, and then inviting them to hear the hope that they have. These students are making a difference, so we're going to have God in schools as long as churches are reaching students.
That's so great. Introduce yourself.
My name is Logan Bray. I'm a senior at South Laurel High School, and I'm a First Priority leader.
Now, tell us some of the things that you witnessed to the other students about.
We try to, as leaders, we try to put, as Tim mentioned earlier, put the hope of Jesus Christ into them. We a lot of times in schools we see people that have a terrible home life,
right?
Especially with all the poverty in the Tri-County area. We see people that really lose hope in everything that in their home life and everything else. So we try to just help them in that aspect and try to put the hope of Christ into them.
And you know, a lot of young men and women your age are on drugs and alcohol. And it's a shameful thing and it's sad to see, but it's a reality. And you can make a difference in their life.
Yeah, we try to, as leaders, we try to have get-togethers on the weekends to keep all of the drugs and alcohol away from people. You know, that's when all the parties are going on Friday nights, late at night. Right. So we try to invite people to get away from that and have, get-togethers and have Bible studies maybe, or just to try to get them away from all the parties and where everything bad happens.
Which that is so good, because right here in our area we've seen so many tragedies, young students killed in car wrecks, drug overdoses and violence and things like that. When we have an opportunity every day to make a difference.
Yeah, we in the First Priority meetings we we try to stress, staying away from the alcohol because it does bring along sin, and the drugs do too. And we try to just stress and staying away from that since that is such a big problem in our high schools.
Now, how long have you been a leader in the First Priority?
I've been a leader. I just started being a leader this year, actually.
Wonderful.
I've been involved with First Priority since 6th grade, but I recently just got invited to be a leader this year. So it's been a great experience.
And you're being such a light because you just don't live this 1 or 2 days. You live this all the time, and you're shining that light to the fellow students, and you're showing them how real this is and how serious you are about it.
Yeah, I try my best to shine my light and bring about the hope of Jesus Christ, and try to stress how much of a change He's been in my life.